July 2nd, 2019. The last time we had a Marvel movie on the big screen. 2 whole years ago. That day marked the release of Spider-Man Far From Home, a portrayal of the aftermath of the events seen in Avengers Endgame, whilst also working as a grieving process of sorts for fans of the franchise. Now, 2 years on, with the release of Black Widow, fans can celebrate the life of one of the many lives lost in Avengers Endgame, that of Natasha Romanoff, also known as the Black Widow. Black Widow plays out as though, at the moment of her death, Natasha's life flashed before her very eyes, and what she saw was her own redemption through the events of this film. It is a great idea in scope, but I do think it creates most of the issues with the movie at the same time. Natasha didn't need to be redeemed. She was and still is a very beloved character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A dark past of hers was always hinted at throughout her appearances within the franchise, but I think what was implied always seemed just a little too dark for the MCU to delve into, and Black Widow's proof of that. Though the film is certainly a darker addition to the MCU, it's definitely a Marvel movie. Rated 12A with just enough moments of humour sprinkled throughout to stop it from ever feeling too dark or too serious. Admittedly, there are some laughable moments, but jumping from Yelena and Natasha talking about what happened to them as children in pretty grim detail to then going to goofy family melodrama, it's just the clashing of tones is a little too much to look away from. All the while, the clash in tones often comes at the expense of any character progression or tonal consistencies. It is easy to see why the decision was made to make Black Widow. On paper, the film would serve to bring further meaning and depth to the character, and of course it would make some money, but sadly it kind of seems to have the opposite effect, more like a stain on the perfect ending that we had for the character in Avengers Endgame. It must be stated that the stars of the movie and the director Kate Shortland did do a fine job with Black Widow. However, they were just severely let down by the screenplay by Eric Pearson and by the general restrictions put on them by Disney and Marvel. It's quite a shame given the innovative and fresh television productions made by both companies within the last year. Sadly, it seems pretty evident that Black Widow is the first dud of Marvel's Phase 4 within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think over the years to come it will become one of the more forgettable Marvel projects. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed the review, and I look forward to hearing back about my application. Thank you very much. Cheers.